Well, the Bondi massacre might have happened in New South Wales, but anti-Semitism, as we know, is a national issue. Victoria, another state well known for endless anti-Israel protests, probably worse than the ones here in New South Wales, has unveiled a 5-point plan to crack down on anti-Semitism and hate speech, including holding social media companies liable for hate speech, giving police extra powers to stop or move on protests. Now, joining me is Libertarian member of the Victorian Legislative Council, David Limbrick. David, welcome to the show. I have a feeling you and I might disagree on this, but what do you think of these increased measures to tackle hate speech?
Well, the government's already passed laws to do this, and they're coming into effect in June this year. The Libertarian Party opposed these laws. We think that they're going to be ineffective and may have consequences that are counterproductive. I think that one of the things that we need to do when faced with extremists is to focus on the core principles of Western liberalism, and one of those really core principles is free speech. Now, when the government says that they want to clamp down on speech, I see this as a surrender to extremism. We're going in a more authoritarian direction, and rather than that, what I would like to see Victoria do is defend the principles of freedom, like free speech, rather than just say, well, all we need to do is have more laws and sacrifice freedom for security that will never come.
Look, I take your point. We have laws already. We have them in New South Wales and federally, and I don't think they're being tested as it is. I think we could use those current laws, and we're not, and they're not even trying. And I do fear that these will be used to shut down any speech that the government or the Prime Minister doesn't like when it's on a federal level. But how about slogans like globalise the Intifada? I mean, we saw where radicalisation could lead last weekend. Don't you agree that speech like that shouldn't be allowed, and incitement to
violence? Look, the limits of freedom of speech are around incitement to violence, defamation and threats. So certainly even libertarians would agree that if you're inciting violence or threatening someone, that should be illegal. We already have laws against incitement to violence. We already have laws to deal with this, and they haven't been used. They haven't been enforcing the current law. So I'm sceptical that when you're not enforcing the current laws, introducing even more laws when you're not enforcing the existing ones, I don't have confidence in that.
Yeah, no, look, I share your lack of confidence, but I do think we should put a stop to some of those really violent slogans. But look, let's talk about what's happening at Darebin City Council, because that council has voted to continue flying the Palestinian flag instead of replacing it with an internationally recognised peace flag. The council postponed the vote on this issue until February 10 next year. David, how convenient. That is over 6 weeks away. Meanwhile, this flag will be allowed to continue to fly even as people are grieving over what happened in Bondi last weekend.
Look, I've thought for a long time what councils have been doing with flying flags is totally wrong. We have a flag protocol in Australia. You're only meant to fly the flag of a foreign nation when they're visiting, when you have a dignitary visiting or something like that. You're not meant to fly flags that are not either the council pennant or the Australian or Victorian flag. So I think that we just need to enforce the flag protocol, and these flags shouldn't be allowed to be flown. Like, unless you've got a foreign dignitary visiting and you fly a flag, in honour of that person visiting your council, you shouldn't be flying foreign flags at all on Victorian government buildings, I don't think.